1930s, the Great Depression was in full swing. People were desperate for money, and racial segregation only made this worse.
People still, blacks stayed where they stayed and whites stayed where they stayed, pretty much. It was a de facto segregated kind of a world that we all lived in at that time. I think it probably got it started during the Prohibition years, and I think they used to serve bootleg liquor there.
Just because the laws changed, people didn't automatically stop drinking, and they needed places to get their alcohol. And speakeasies, like the Cotton Club, were the places that people would gather and drink and socialize and rip up the Roaring Twenties like the Roaring Twenties.
The scene was set for a new place for the African Americans to host amazing performances for the whites to enjoy. This also helped give the African Americans a chance to pursue their careers as musicians.
For the first time, African Americans were valued by white Americans for more than just being laborers. They were valued for being musicians, for being artists, for being poets, for being writers. And the musicians who really thrived throughout the 1920s would do so because of establishments like the Cotton Club.
Oh, bootleg gin and a segregated system. And great music for its time, too. Great entertainment. Yeah, that was the Cotton Club.
The Cotton Club was a place where African Americans knew that they could go and either become stars, become noticed, or to continue to play the music that had already made them famous.
So it was showtime, you know. It was big. It was huge. It was a grand scale. That's what I think of as a Cotton Club. Yeah.
Well, it brought black music into the mainstream culture, that's for sure.
The Cotton Club was and is still today located in Harlem, New York.
The audiences were all white, and the entertainers were all black, which really it's really surprised me. I only heard that recently, but that was the case, and I guess that was not unusual in those days for audiences to be, you know, to exclude black people from audiences. Very segregationist time in a shameful history.
The Cotton Club became the starting point from which black musicians launched their jazz music during the Harlem Renaissance and in the highly segregated 1920s and 1930s. During this time, any white person could visit the Cotton Club for many different reasons. They could watch a performance, eat, drink, or just escape from the realities of the Great Depression. This establishment, frequented only by white people, became the perfect platform for American musicians to take off in their careers as spectacular jazz musicians.
Many of the most successful, most famous musicians within the 1930s would end up at the Cotton Club.
Duke Ellington played at the Cotton Club. Louis Armstrong played at the Cotton Club. Cab Calloway famously played at the Cotton Club. Oh, everybody played the Cotton Club in those days.
Jim Jam jump is a silent jive, makes you 9 foot tall when you're 4'5". Hip hip. Hip hip.
The shows were being broadcast on radio, and radio was a new thing. So not only were the elite, rich white people going up to Harlem and seeing this fabulous music, but it was being broadcast around the country. So lots of people were starting to hear this music and realize that, oh, this is not primitive music. They were beginning to realize this music is beautiful. It has, it's fun, it's got soul, it's entertaining, and it takes tremendous skill to play.
Boy, what's gonna play that game? Oh, this jive once more.
It don't mean a thing. All you gotta do is swing. Makes no difference if it's sweet or hot. Just give that rhythm every little thing you've got.